Hello, what's up, how are you doing? Welcome to Bassist Ove Gilberto Music Source, and my name is Ove Gilberto. Thank you for following me up every new day, night and day, every hour, and for those who have been doing that, thank you for your comments and everything you've been doing. Today I bring for you a topic about music theory, understanding music theory. Not probably, these are some of the things that we experience during band rehearsals and other musical sessions. And I thought of discussing to you 10 musical terms that you are supposed to be knowing. And so before we get started, make sure if this is your first time, very first time really, to be on my YouTube channel or to watch my lessons, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment so that that supports my channel to grow up, and I'll be so grateful about that. Okay, now to get started, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm starting off from number 1. What is the first term that you're supposed to know? These things I'm going to discuss, it's not necessarily for a bassist. It's whoever is a musician, you should be knowing them, because when you don't know them, one day you're going to stand and look and or demand out, as the saying goes. All right, then the first term that we are going to learn here is called transpose. And so what's transpose? According to me, transpose simply means change of key from original key of the song to a very new key or relative key, and then you totally don't go back to the original key. So assume the song is in the key of C. I'm playing the 8th fret of C, and I want to transpose to D major. So I'll play the E minor 7 and then the A7. Now I'm in D. I've gone to D. So now I play everything in D, I play everything in D, and I don't go back to C. That's what we call transpose. But this movement of going to D from C, I play 2, 5, then 1. What is the 2 of these? E minor 7, and then the 5 is A7. Then back to D, or this, major 7. So that's what we call transpose. Very many songs are like that, and you're in the band and the band leader saying it's going to transpose to D. Understand, it's going to move from C to D if you are in the key of C, okay? And so on and so on. That's what we mean by transpose. Number 2 is what we call modulation. So what's modulation? Modulation is just a very much similar thing to transpose. But this time modulation, you change the key and you go back to the original key. For example, I'm in the key of C, 8th fret still, I'm going to D, I'm using the same thing, then back to D. I'm in D now. I play everything in D, I play everything in D. Now I want to go back to C. I play 2 of C, which is D minor, and then the G7. Then I'm back in C. So that's what we call modulation. Change of key and then go back to the original key. Take note of those two terminologies. You're in the band, and you know the band leader is like, you know, guys, we have to we are going to modulate this song. Understand what the band leader is trying to say. Don't just play your bass or piano or guitar or drums. Understand? Okay, number 3 is what we call interval. So what's interval? To me, interval is just the distance between 2 pitches or 2 voices. For example, the distance from C to D. Okay? It's a major second interval. You understand? The distance from C to E is a major third. C to F is a perfect fourth. C to G is a perfect fifth. C to A is a major 6, C to B is a major 7th, and then C to C is what we call octave, an octave, you know? So that's what we call interval. Intervals really differ in different ways of understanding it. All scales you play is kind of interval, actually. So interval, understand it that way. So you might find you're playing in the band and the leader is like, we are going to modulate to a minor third, for example. So from C, minor third simply means major third, flat, 8. So minor third of C will be E flat this time. Major third will be E, minor third will be E flat. Or if the band leader says we are modulating to a perfect fourth, that is to F. Understand those languages in the band and be a perfect musician. I mean, be a helpful musician, not really perfect. Okay, so that's what I can talk about interval. There are so many things to do with intervals. You have to be knowing that. Number 4 is scale. What's a scale? This is something that disturbs all of us musicians, most especially are very, very beginners. All the time, all they want to play is scales. But what is a scale? So to me, a scale is just a pattern of intervals. A scale is made up of intervals. For example, if I play the C major scale, I'm using the 8th fret. I'm playing C on the E string. So, you see, I'm playing the C major scale, but whatever note I'm connecting to is in terms of intervals. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing, and that's what we're going to do. As a scale, a pattern of series of intervals. And a scale is a pattern of intervals made up of half, whole steps. So that's why you see the formation, for example, of a major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So those are intervals. Whole and half simply means intervals. You understand? And the British language, they don't use whole half. They use tone for whole, and they use semitone for half steps. So if you're well conversant with the British language of music, that's how they do it. The American system is whole half. So half step, whole step. Those are intervals. Yeah. So when the band leader, I mean, that's a scale, sorry. When the band leader is telling you to play a scale, understand. And you could not be knowing all type of scales. But when you say, it's a scale we are playing, understand. It's a pattern of intervals that we are playing. Okay, number 5 is what we call a set list. So what's a set list? A set list is just a list of songs that are being prepared to play in a given gig, or a church, or a wedding gig, or a graduation gig, corporate gig, etc. That list of songs that the band leader gives you, that, hey guys, these are the songs we're going to play. They should be having the keys attached to them. The songs should be arranged according to how they are going to flow. So that list you're given on a piece of paper, or on could be sent on your WhatsApp or any groups you're using. That's what we call a set list. So when the band leader is asking you, did you get the set list? Don't be like, guys, what do you mean by set list? It's meaning, did you get the list of songs we're going to play? That's what the band leader is trying to mean. So be vigilant about this and understand it. That's what we call set list. Number 6 is a very good term called harmony. This is something very common in band groups, and you find people are talking about harmony. So what's harmony? Harmony simply means the combination of more than one note or pitch. Okay, pitches, more than one notes or pitches, to form a pleasant sound or consonance. For example, harmony, for example, if I play something. So I'm playing the G, D major, and playing with a G ninth chord. It could be minor or major because I'm playing root third and root fifth and ninth. So it can be major or minor. It serves for both major or minor. So what is harmony? For example, now here, this is G, G9. G9. G9 simply means we have G, D, G, A, D, and A. These are three voices. So I could call A as soprano, I can call D as alto, I can call G as tenor. So in terms of voices, those are three voices. I've put them together. Okay? It can even be two voices. They still make harmony. But if there are three, it starts becoming much more. It can even be 4, it can even be 5, it can even be 6. I don't know how many. It can be as many as possible, you see. So that's all. That's what we mean by, by harmony. That's harmony. Putting more than one voices together and to form that pleasant sound. What we call the musical language consonance, I know the opposite of that is dissonance, but not every dissonant sound is consonance. Yeah, some people have made it that way. Next, we want to talk about unison. So what's unison? Unison simply means different instruments or voices playing the same pitch with different registers. For example, the band leader is going to say, we are all going to end on the note of C. So everyone is going to end the song on C. Some are going to play this C. Some are going to play this C. Some are going to play this C. Some are going to play this. Some are going to play this, that. And some are going to play this. So what does that mean? It means that we are all playing the same note, but at different registers. Different octaves. That's what I would mean to you. So this C is more or less the same of this, but they are different in terms of pitch. This is higher, this is lower. Oh, that's one way of understanding unison. Another way, it could be all of us, the singers plus the players, the musicians, we are all playing this scale. That's we all play that. And that's also unison. So understand, unison doesn't only mean choir singing the same voice. It can be instruments, can be anything, Next, a chord. So our number 8 view is a chord. What is a chord? A chord is a combination of more than 2 notes played together. So for example, when I played the G9 chord here, it's a chord because it has more than 2 notes played together. If I have only 2 notes, that's not a chord, that's just an interval. And in the other language of the guitar playing, we call that double stop playing. Double stop. That's double stop. But playing 3 notes, that's a chord. More than 3 pitches played together. Or I can play like A minor 7. That's a chord. Or I can play dominant 7th of A. That's a chord. If I just play A and the 3rd C sharp, that's not a chord. It's just an interval. Understand that? So that's what we call a chord. And chords exist in different types. So as a bass player, piano player, and so on, you should be knowing which chord are you playing. You should be knowing. But when we say play chord, don't play double stop and call that a chord. For us, bassists, sometimes when we develop chord playing on the bass, we do anything and we can make it sound like a chord, but the real theory is that. Next, we want number 9. We're almost done. We want to talk about, progression. So what is progression? This is something that happens in band sessions and musical sessions. So the band leader is asking you, which progression are you playing? So progression simply means a series of chord changes over a song. Maybe the song is like, let's say it's Autumn Leaves. Oh, sorry. Maybe the song, I just play anything, okay. That's that. So I mean, the song is changing from A minor to D, to G major 7, to C major 7, and then to F sharp half diminished, then to B dominant 7, then to E minor. That's the dichotomous, like I was trying to say. So look at that scenario. So you play a wrong chord, and I mean a progression, and they're like, which progression are you playing? Okay, you're in another key. It's just a series of chord changes. So that's asked a lot many times. You know, many of the times we are asked, which progression are you playing? It's a series of chord changes. That's all about progression. Now, lastly, we want to talk about this. What is a cadence? Cadence. So a cadence, this is something very, 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 very crucial. And it may not be asked to you, but you may hear such things when the people are playing together. So a cadence is the final resting place of any musical, any music generally, or a song, you know. And cadence exists in three major forms. There are other forms as well. One, it could be a perfect cadence, it could be a plagal cadence, or it could be a deceptive cadence. And so what is what we call a perfect cadence? For example, you play a song in the key of D. I mean on the 10th fret. So somebody play 5, 5, 5, 5, 1. So perfect cadence simply means 5 going back to 1 very strong. 2, 5, 1. You always saw even 2, 5, 1 is a resolution of perfect cadence. 2, 5, 1. 5, I'm on 1. 5, 1. So 5, 1, 5 to 1. 2, 5, 1 is a perfect, it's a strong resolution for perfect area cadence. Now next, what's called plagal cadence. Plagal cadence is what some people call in gospel the amen cadence. Amen cadence. So that is like somebody's playing. Then he plays 4. So that's all the amen cadence, plagal cadence. It's common. So plagal cadence simply means 4, wherever you play, but the last chord is a 4 resolving to a 5, to a 1. That's plagal cadence. That's all. Now let's look at the last one, what we call the deceptive cadence. Deceptive cadence simply means you move your steps. For example, you're in D. So instead of going to 1, I end with a 6, for example. I end my song on a 6. It's deceptive. So when I'm on 6, you don't know where I'm going. From 6, I have opportunity to go in so many places. So it's called deceptive because of that. I'm on 6, and that's all. So that's what cadence is, the final resting place of a song. What you call the outros you play on the song is, to me, is kind of cadence. But even within the song, cadences are there. Okay, guys, I hope this lesson has helped someone. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And hope to see you next week again with another series of video of music theory. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.